It's obvious that in Hollow Knight Silksong, music plays an important role not just as it relates to the game, but as a part of the world itself. Yet despite the word song being a part of the game title, the role of music in Pharloom is more subtle than it at first seems. Through story details and lore implications, we learn that music is a conduit for power and a part of the land itself. Without music, the haunting may never have begun, and Pharloom as a land may never have existed at all. In this video, I want to explore some of the thoughts and ideas of how music plays a role in the story and lore of Hollow Knight Silksong. Let's start at the beginning. Upon departing from Bone Bottom, beginning your ascension upward toward the Citadel, you are very quickly stopped by a gate of bone. The pilgrim Sherma sings to the door, wishing for it to open, and while this seems useless, he doesn't give up, even after you leave to go find your own way around. Opening the gate yourself is a simple task, not deserving of note, but from Sherma's perspective, it's a miracle. What he wished for actually came true. Of course, it isn't really Sherma's singing that opens the door. This isn't some dwarven magic after all. It's you who fulfills Sherma's wish. But the connection is still there. A song expresses a wish, and that wish is made true in time. The Druid of Mossholm tells us that a wish is a powerful bond, a binding stronger than sin. A wish has power. In Pharloom, ancient powers proliferate. The ubiquitous silk of the weavers controls the minds of its many bugs. The mnemonic coral and ice shape itself into creatures and structures, and the shamans secretly gather soul, waiting for the day they can summon their dark master. But older than all of these is the power that belongs to the very land itself, concentrated in the souls of bugs of great strength and will. The power of music. Perhaps it's more accurate to say that music is a conduit for power rather than a power itself. An example of this is one of my favorite abilities from the game, the Needolin. The notes plucked on your silk trigger ancient weaver doors, call forth the helpful bell beastlings, and coax out the emotions and thoughts of Pharloom's bugs. This last usage is the most intriguing of all. At first I thought that the bugs simply sing along with you as you play the Needolin, but it seems more likely that the Needolin compels them to sing, perhaps without their awareness of it. The creature in Sinner's Road called Styx describes the sound as marvelous and soothing, and corpses will offer up their memories at your playing. There doesn't even have to be bugs around for the Needolin to resonate. Wherever bugs died, suffered, or hoped, the Needolin channels their memories as if the land itself contains them. The Mossholm Druid refers several times to the rhythms of the world and how they don't beat here in Pharloom, or at least they do so weakly. This rhythm changes with Pharloom's fate as well. In Act 3, the Druid describes that a new rhythm has emerged, one that is steady and free. It is as if the haunting had suppressed or twisted the rhythms of the land, but now they beat with something new. But what does the rhythm of a land sound like? One insight into this is found in the hearts of the great bugs of Pharloom. Each heart beats with a unique rhythm, its signature of power. Through the power of these rhythms, Hornet is able to enter her own mind and extract something invaluable from within to make it real. Within the memory of Verdania, we see another example. The background track features polyrhythm, two distinct overlapping rhythms. This is easy to hear in the main section of the piece. This alludes to the Clover Dancers, the two fated bugs who were to rule the land of Verdania. Perhaps this piece itself expresses the rhythm of Verdania, a dual beat that could never be separated even if one half was removed. I mentioned before that Pharloom's haunted silk may have weakened or altered the rhythms of Pharloom. I think that this is clear from how the pilgrims in the choir of the Citadel obsess over song. Their music is a prayer to Grandmother Silk, who long ago inserted herself as the unnatural matriarch of Pharloom. Perhaps the haunting itself is this same song now turned back on its followers, a maddening melody that takes a stranglehold on the mind. And where the haunted silk meets a strong will, there is power enough to distort reality and alter the very land itself. The mist twists, loops, and misdirects. Its background track is seemingly peaceful, but also eerie. The origin of this melody is the great organ played by Phantom, a theory supported by the fact that the mist disappears after her defeat. Perhaps the purpose of the great organ is to obscure the land's rhythms, to warp the landscape into something haunted and innavigable, such that no one can pass it into the citadel beyond. Though the haunting is oppressive and seemingly omnipresent, it has a weakness in Pharloom's great bells. We see this in Bellheart, where defeating Widow and ringing the bell frees the town's inhabitants from their bindings. Intense and resounding, the bells wake the bugs from their trances, restoring them to their former selves. It's like an alarm clock interrupting a bad dream, if the bad dream was you being enslaved to a jealous god for all eternity. It's implied that the weavers sustained grandmother silk with song. If the haunted silk is an extension of that song, it's fitting that the bells would be a counter to it. Perhaps this explains the pilgrim's obsession with bells. Cymbals, too, which, like bells, can produce a sound that is sudden and loud. It's interesting to note that our friend Sherma never succumbs to the haunting, despite the numerous dangers they face and periods where they seem to lose all hope. Perhaps it's his will to press on where others have given up, or perhaps it is their song and instrument which keeps them sane. There is one other force capable of overcoming the silk, though it is far more nefarious. Located deep below Pharloom's crust, the void exists, waiting to be summoned by those who call to it. Rather than overwhelming the silk threads with a clash of metal and bells, the void consumes them entirely, replacing their haunting melody with an eerie silence. Under the absolute power of void, there is no desire, pain, nor fear. In silence, no rhythms can exist. No land or power can take shape. All is the same, one uniform echo of nothingness. Though, maybe not. Maybe within the void there is a trace of will other than to consume. Even though we are born of a single source and raised from birth for a single purpose, there's nothing stopping us from changing that song and altering that fate. I love the way Silksong integrates music into its gameplay and lore. It borrows from classic games in that music is a mechanism for channeling magical power, but it does so much more than that. Music is a reflection of memory and an expression of a person's will. It is contained in the rhythms of the land and carried in the hearts of bugs who live there. It is a catalyst for power and something that surrounds us, even when we think there is only silence.